All right. Hello, everybody. This is Daniel from Daily Soap Dish. And today we're going to be discussing Smothered. Actually, we're going to be discussing the Mary and Brittany duo on Smothered. And I have Gabriella Elizabeth Marie here with me today. She has her own YouTube channel. You can check the link down below. And we're going to be discussing this together. Hi, Gabriella. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Daniel? Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. So, you made a big discovery just a little while ago, actually. So, we were wondering about these smothered people because, of course, the show just started, and a lot of these people are a bit of a mystery. So, we have found out some new information about one of the duos. So, like I said, Brittany and Mary. And so you've actually found some information about Mary and who she is, her family, and things like that, which I think people are going to find very interesting.
Right. So I want to preface this with it's on a website out there that apparently Mary put up to promote herself. So I've been trying to get like the verification on it. This is all just information that I found about her basically saying that she is an actress. She is aspiring in terms of being an extra. It says on this particular website, it's for some sort of an agency. She is interested in commercials, modeling, and acting. She's had some credits in another reality TV show, but I don't know if it ever aired. And then she has on her bio for this website, it says that she's a part of the Colombo crime family. So her name in full is Mary Colombo-Cooper. And when I saw that, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, what is anything? Okay, so it just sort of made me question everything about the show Smothered and wondering if she really is Brittany's mother to begin with. What about this show is real and who she actually is? Because I tried to do some more digging into it, and she says that she was a private investigator from about 1990. For like 30 years, she was a private investigator. Now this acting is like the second part of her life and her career. She was married to a man who was another private investigator with her in Connecticut. So I started doing some research into private investigators in Connecticut, and I came up with this one agency. It's Cooper Investigative Agency, and the guy behind it, his name is Glenn Cooper. So I don't know if this is an ex-husband of hers, but there was also a Don Cooper listed there as well. Now, I didn't see a picture of the Don Cooper, but I saw Glenn, and he's this bald guy, sunglasses in the picture I saw, does not look at all like Frank. Whoever this Frank is, like, I have no idea if this man is an actor or what. Like, I don't know at this point, because on the pictures that I keep seeing, like, I looked up various Google images of her, and there's this guy who's in some photos with her. It looks like they're on a yacht or maybe a cruise ship of some sort, a maiden voyage of some boat, and they're positioned together. It doesn't really look like Frank, though. It looks like a man with salt and pepper hair, but it doesn't look like Frank, and it's recent. There's another picture with them in front of a Maserati holding hands. I don't think it's Frank, but I
Would
think
it would it be her ex-husband? Which her last name is it's Colombo-Cooper, so we can assume that maybe one of those two men that used to work at that agency could have been one of her ex-husband.
right.
Perhaps.
It could have been, but I don't know, because then she's saying on the show that she's not actually married. So, okay,
Not actually married to Frank.
not actually married to Frank.
Okay, so what's the story on that? Because we watched the first episode, and this seemed to kind of be a big deal in that first episode, and the story is a little messy.
It is messy. So Brittany out on it. She basically said to both her and Frank, why should I be the one to move out? Because, you know, you two aren't even legally married. And then Mary got into the story of how right before their wedding, it was 5 days before she and Frank were supposed to be married, bachelor party, he went to a strip club. One of the guys hired him a private dancer. So I don't know, he got a lap dance, I guess. And then he came back to the house and he was smelling of cigarettes. Because who's not going to smoke when you're drinking or like whatever? I mean, she was upset about that. In the middle of the night, he left the bed and she found him in front of the computer masturbating to porn. So this is her story. This is why she's very, very upset.
Yeah.
And right after the wedding, she took their marriage license and she ripped it up. She never filed it. So they're not officially married.
Oh wait, so okay, so they actually got married, but it was never fun.
Yeah.
This is really, it's a little out there, you know. And the thing is, though, is they're still together. So if they were gonna get married, they probably would have gotten married. Or if this whole thing, whatever happened, was a deal breaker, probably would have been a deal breaker by now.
I bet so. Yeah. They're still together. It's just they're trying to make it work. She says she's trying to forgive him. For how long are you going to try and forgive someone? She says every day I see him wanting to be a better man.
Okay, that should be good enough.
Like, give the guy a break. I mean, come on, Mary. But going back to the whole Colombo crime family thing, I mean, I can't find any record. She says that she's Joseph's daughter. So for everyone out there who may not be familiar with this, Joseph Colombo was a big deal in like the New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, like mafia. Like he was the guy. Like they consulted him for the Godfather movies. All right.
Right.
He was a big deal. She is basically claiming that she's his daughter.
Yeah,
he had 4 sons and then a daughter. The daughter's name I have not been able to find anywhere. Like I cannot connect directly that it's a Mary and whatever. I haven't been able to find that. But he had another son named Joe, and Joe died in 2014. He passed away. He was only 67, so I'm thinking that must have been a brother. It's all very strange, but I cannot find her name anywhere. So is she making it up? Like I don't know what the deal is.
So this is the site that you're talking about. So it's on starnow.com. So we can see here that Mary Colombo-Cooper, she is listed on this website. And it says she is an actor, extra, and a model. She lives in Florida in the United States. And this is what she says about herself. So from the day I was born, I have lived a unique life. I love challenges and can pursue my goals alone or work as a team. Because of my upbringing, I have a very strong but kind personality that people want to be around. I was born in New York City, and my father was Joseph Colombo. Yes, the Colombo crime family. Like, she says that like she's proud of it, almost, if I can read through the lines here. And then she says, I grew up amongst the true old-style gangsters of the past where honor and respect were the rule. When I got married at age 24, I married a former police detective who operated a very successful private detective agency. And then she also says that she became a licensed private detective through the agency. And she was a natural working undercover on domestic cases and for the government. And she had to assume many parts just like an actor. So that's basically what she has to say about her family, about her, her upbringing. And basically she is kind of like using her detective work as a springboard into acting because it's almost like the same thing. This is all very interesting, of course, and it wouldn't be the first if she is who she says she is. It wouldn't be the first time that we see people with family ties to the mob kind of joining reality TV. Of course, there's some other noted examples out there, but I think what's even beyond that, of course, it says that she is an actor, extra, and model. So that kind of just makes you wonder about this whole show because, of course, it's a reality show, but she does seem to be an aspiring actress. So is she putting this on because she wants to make her mark in showbiz? Or is this really real? It's kind of hard to tell. Like the scenes with her and her daughter in the shower. I mean, considering that she is trying to become an actress or wants to become a more successful actress, she would know that that kind of scene would outrage people and would get people talking and things like that. So it would seem like a no-brainer to put it up if you wanted to become famous, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it's very strange. And then I went to her Twitter account and I can't find anything past April. It's like it cuts off. And I don't know if maybe TLC made her do that or whatever, but there's really no mention of Brittani at all. It's like there's nothing connecting her to her actual daughter, if this is her daughter. But there is one mention that she gives to people in general saying that people need to get a life, whoever's being so mean to this girl. And I think by this girl, she means Brittani. It's strange. It's like she's obsessed with Vanderpump Rules. We used to hear constantly like tweeting at them, the various people from Lisa Vanderpump to the guy who owns Sir. And she gets like no response from them. Like, I think every now and then someone likes one of her tweets. But there's something that seems very hungry about becoming that sort of a celebrity. There's something else going on here. She enters that world.
So you're saying that it's not even, there's some doubts as to whether Brittani is her real daughter or not. Like maybe, could she be maybe Frank's daughter that she's kind of like taking under her wing, or could she not be related at all?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just having doubts, but I think probably she is her daughter because of some of the footage we've seen and the videos of her and the pageants and everything. So I think she is her daughter, but there's no history. Like we can't see anything publicly connecting them the way some other mother and daughters you see.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like you take into account Alina and her mother, and you know we know that she was adopted and things like that. So there's more of a history. Here, it doesn't seem to. We don't seem to have as much. Maybe that has something to do with the Colombo connection. She's keeping the past a little murky. Who knows about that for sure? Okay. Just I wanted to think about something. Wanted to say something. Okay. Do you have anything else to add about it?
just in general, this family has recently, I don't know if you've watched the documentary on Netflix. It's called McMillions. Have you watched that by any chance?
I have not.
I just recently saw it. So it's another weird family connection that she has, once again, going back to the Colombos. And I don't know if this would have been a cousin of hers or maybe even a brother at this point, but one of them was connected with this big scam that happened with McDonald's back in the late 90s and early 2000s, where there was a man who worked for the security company that actually printed out the McDonald's Monopoly game. And he worked for a security company that would deliver between the printer and, I don't know, wherever they'd end up going to McDonald's. And he was taking the million, those little coupons that were for the $1 million prize. And he was selling them like, okay, his name was Uncle Jerry, he went by, and he was selling them. And then he got in connection with one of the Colombos. I think it was, I don't want to say Joe. I keep wanting to say Joe now, but it was one of the Colombo guys, like one of the children of like Joe Colombo.
Right.
And racketeered the heck out of this game for like 5 years. They were doing this and they were scamming people. Like they give people the $1 million card and then they'd say, okay, you can cash this in, but you have to pay us $50,000 like every year, like whatever it was. So these people were making no money and they were having to pay the tax on winnings. Right. Thing.
Wow. And this would have been one of Mary's brothers, we're assuming.
Yeah. And so the winners and Jerry himself and the Colombo connection, they were all in Florida. Mary's currently in Florida.
Florida.
I don't want to say anything about it, but like, who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
you always wonder where the money comes from, right?
Yeah.
So it's my
But
own.
of course, we have to be fair to Mary, and of course, she might have decided to become a private detective, because she wanted to be different. We have to be fair to her, and just because she comes from the family, we can't just assume that, of course, she was connected and everything. We don't know, and that's, of course, if everything checks out, which at this point, this is the issue with Smothered, is it's the second season, but there isn't a ton of information, and I feel like that might be a part of the charm to some extent, because you're always kind of wondering, who are these people? Are they really like this? And like, if there was more information, you would have more of the answers to your questions, which could actually make the show a little less interesting in some ways. So I think the mystery is kind of the draw a little bit with Smothered.
Absolutely. So you're right. You do have to be fair. I have to be fair. I can't go running away with my own thoughts and speculation.
We don't want the Colombo crime family watching this video and being like, those two people,
No.
Danny and no, but yeah, of course, we got to be fair. Of course, that is what she says on her Star Now profile, and I believe she also said that in the show, or she might say it in the show at some point. I forget.
Okay. Yeah, she hasn't said it yet, but that would be interesting if it comes up.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add about Smothered, about what we've seen so far, what you think we're going to see? First of all, you seem to have doubts about this show. I mean, I guess now that we've learned a little bit about Mary, of course, forget the Colombo crime stuff. That's not even a part of the equation. But we're talking about, she's an actress, right? And of course, we've had similar questions about actors or wannabe actors on other shows, aka 90 Day Fiance, which this season has probably half the cast are wannabe actors, if not more, and the other half are all starting YouTube channels. But regardless of that, I guess that kind of makes you question a little bit of the authenticity.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm still having fun with it though, so I haven't lost my interest in it. Cher and Dawn, we still haven't seen. We'll be seeing them this upcoming week. But talk about acting credits. I found out that the daughter, Cher, has like a list of about 5 or 6 acting credits. And her mother, Dawn, was in one of the same movies with her. So that was kind of fun to find out. But you know what? People have interests in a lot of things. And
That's right. I agree.
If your friend is doing a movie and maybe they kind of pull you into it, I mean, you never know. It could just be all coincidence. And that's not to say that these mothers and daughters don't still have very interesting relationships with each other. Kathy and Christina, we saw this week, so looking forward to seeing what happens there. They're probably what I think are one of the most authentic mothers and daughters on the show. They're funny. I do think they have a lot of one-liners that they probably practice in with each other. But I think
wouldn't that be normal though? Like, just think, if you're doing a show, you want to put your best face out there. You have the camera. A lot of people don't realize there's 2-3 people with cameras shoved in your face. It can be a little nerve-wracking if you're unprepared. You're going to stumble on your words. You're going to look like an idiot. So if you're doing anything TV related, it would only make sense that you practice to some extent. It's only if you over-practice that then it's like, oh, that's fake. That person is fake. He rehearsed it. But you got to practice at least a little bit so you don't come off looking just bad.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally correct there. And I think they've done a perfect job with that. Like, they are so spot on. They have some of the greatest one-liners and just they're fun to watch. And I believe that they really do love each other. Like, I see like that family connection. It's very honest to me within this whole reality TV world.
Right.
You know, but like the Soonhee and Angelica thing just kind of bums me out because Soonhee is super controlling and then Angelica is not enough of her own person, it seems. Like she hasn't lived life enough on her own to really know what she wants. So it's like she's going from one parent to the next with Soonhee versus Jason. So
Right.
knows what's going to happen there. Very curious and a little bit worried to see this whole Laura Sarah mom daughter thing. Like the previews of the mother breathing in her daughter's baby teeth, that's disgusting to me. Like I don't get it. It's very weird. Um
See that
but
again?
yeah, so there is a commercial where the mother Lori has a handful of Sarah's baby teeth and she
Right.
just takes it and she breathes it in.
Yeah,
And
I think I saw that, and it was a little I was like, WTF? Like,
yeah.
it was one of those moments that I was like, I gotta watch the show because what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's oh, so we'll see. We'll see this week what that's all about. But overall, I I haven't lost my faith in Smothered, Daniel. I will say that. So I'm curious to see what happens. And you know, I even for Mary and Brittany, I think I'm hoping that people aren't as judgmental as they've probably been. Like with the whole shower thing, like it's all kind of off on a bad foot. It's
Yeah,
getting talking about them, but you know how people can be. They could just be like cruel, and who knows what kind of messages they've been getting.
I
So,
can only imagine.
yeah, just people need to chill out and realize it's just a show. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Oh, I agree with that. But it's good to start off with a bang. But of course, it can have some negative side effects. I'm sure they were well aware of that before they did it, and I'm sure that the show told them like you might get some hate for this online. Just be prepared, you know. And
Yeah,
so I think they'll be fine. Honestly, if you're going on TLC, you better be prepared for some hate. If not, then maybe you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh,
Okay. All right, so that does it for our Smother segment. So this is a crazy show. I think it's gonna get even crazier. So we look forward to seeing where the craziness is gonna lead next. So again, thank you, Gabriella Elizabeth Marie, for joining us. You can see a link to her channel down below. She loves the show a lot, and she of course she has been digging all over the place, and she will keep doing that. So check out her channel below for more Smothered information. Okay, thank you, Gabriella. We'll see you guys on the next one. Okay.